on that.
From that evening, a musical relationship slash friendship was born. Even with playing music on stage with other musicians, there has to be chemistry there. And at the same time, it's like you want to be able to have chemistry away from the stage as well. Because if you have chemistry away from the stage, your show and your stage presence and everything like that is
Yeah,
going to be
people
even
pick
greater.
up on it. Not just entertainment, what we do. We'll be talking to designers and entrepreneurs and people just trying to get their t-shirt brand popping. Whatever it is that you're doing, whatever your hustle is, this is Hustlenometry 101. And we're going to all get there together.
Shag Motown. So like I told you, I got these.
Yeah, yeah,
Chairman of the
Brandon.
board, sure.
Yeah,
It's,
Brandon. Fine.
That's what it is. Come on, okay, you don't. You muted yourself, homie. I can't hear you. You muted yourself. What happened?
Am I good now?
Yeah, yeah. What's happening, brother? How
Yeah,
are you?
I didn't
How are you?
touch nothing, but I
Yeah,
don't,
I don't know what happened. Yeah, something got muted,
again,
but we good.
yeah. So I just decided to do the old good old exit out and come back. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
How's it going?
We live, man. Like, ladies and gentlemen, greetings. Today is Monday, April 18th, 2022.
Yep.
Welcome to another edition of the No Shortcut Show. We're gonna let you guys come on in, get yourself something to drink, something
What's
to eat, a
up?
snack
Yeah.
perhaps. We got a
Yeah.
wonderful guest lined up this evening. In the meantime, just want to, of course, give you guys a second to file on in and whatnot.
For sure.
Today is the Monday after Easter. I hope and trust that everybody had a beautiful Easter weekend
Yeah.
with family, friends, and definitely with keeping the spiritual element in mind as we celebrate the resurrection of
Mm-hmm.
our Lord and Savior. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? But
sir.
I had a wonderful time. I did the church thing yesterday. Then Isaiah and I went down to see my parents, and I got a chance to see my brother, sister, my niece, and my nephew. So,
Yeah.
it was definitely a very eventful but very fulfilling Easter holiday. What about yourself, sir?
Hey, man, it was a busy one. It was a busy one for me. I had weddings every day. I had a
That's
wedding
good.
Friday, Saturday, and then you remember a couple weeks ago we was talking to Blake about scheduling and
Yeah,
making sure you had time. I booked this
yeah.
wedding a while back and I didn't check the calendar. I was like, oh, it's a
Oh,
Sunday, I'm free, and then I realized it
ah,
was Easter.
it was Easter.
And but it was
Yeah.
early. It was like 11 o'clock in the morning wedding, so it was real pretty and nice. And it was actually
Mm-hmm.
a pretty religious wedding too. So the pastor
Oh,
who did the wedding, it was almost like being in church. So it was a really
yeah.
good ceremony. But yeah, that was my weekend, man. I had three weddings back to back to back, and
That's great,
got to
man.
get
That's
home
it.
and sleep.
Yeah, well, we definitely know there's a few coins jingling around in your pocket this
Yeah, a little
afternoon.
bit, man. Why you trying to tell on me?
Yeah, but it's a beautiful thing,
Yeah, for
it's a
sure,
beautiful thing.
for
And ladies
sure.
and gentlemen, while you guys are coming in, please leave us a comment. Let us know
Yeah,
that you're here. Let
yeah,
us know where you're tuning in from. Feel free to chat with us. We're gonna pop some of those up. Feel free to chat amongst yourselves. We're here just to
definitely.
have a nice little chat for half an hour or so. If this is your first time, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the No Shortcut Show, where we are in the process of building a community platform for
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneurs as well as those that are entrepreneurial minded. If you have aspirations to be an entrepreneur, and Famous and I, we will come on and chat. Try to break some bread, spread some knowledge, as well
Definitely.
as And as I always say, I love when we can pick up little tidbits from others.
Yes,
So let
sir.
me give this guy a formal introduction real quick, so
Go
we can
ahead with it.
proceed for the evening.
Yeah.
The guy to the left of your screen, longtime friend of mine.
Oh,
He's also one of the hustle correspondents, one of the co-hosts of this very platform, the
yes,
No
sir.
Shortcut Show. This guy is a DJ.
Yeah.
He's a digital media strategist as well as an event producer, and he got a mean photo booth. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise at
My
home as we
man.
make some noise on the screen for DJ Famous, my man Travis Bizel.
Hey, 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 thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that, appreciate that. As usual, here with my main man,
Yeah.
producer, MC, music director, host
Hmm.
extraordinaire, keyboard aficionado, Mr. Jerry Midas
Whoa.
Hardison.
He's digging deep into the bag
Yeah,
today.
yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah,
It's good to see
man.
you, my
Yeah.
brother. And
For sure. Always a pleasure.
and our guest today.
Yeah. We're
This
gonna
guy
bring him out?
has, yeah, we're gonna bring him out, but he has like a
All right.
whole bunch of titles and things under his hat as well, which is one of the things we're gonna be talking about with him tonight. He is a MC, a producer, a rapper, video director. This guy is like Renaissance Man 2022. Let's bring it
Mm-hmm.
in, our homeboy Dajuan
Let's go.
Bryson.
Let's go.
Yeah,
What's
yeah, yeah. Welcome to
happening?
the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Thank you guys for having me on. That is a fire introduction. I need to say that one quick. Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
use that
Yeah,
sometime.
man.
Renaissance
It's
Man
a
2022.
pleasure.
The Renaissance
Yeah.
man. I like that.
It's a pleasure to have you here with us this afternoon. We're looking forward to, learning a little bit more about you, as well as our audience getting a chance to learn a little bit more about you. And we
For
just
sure.
here to pick your brain and find out a little bit more information about your journey and your field of expertise. So we definitely
Definitely.
thank you for your time this evening.
For sure.
Oh,
For
thank
sure.
you guys. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, it's good to
Absolutely.
have you,
Now,
man.
yeah. Now, did you have a good Easter weekend? Famous and I recapped our Easter weekend. How was your Easter weekend, sir?
Dude, Easter weekend's the best. So I'm in the Carolinas right now. I'm live in Austin, but I get to come back home and visit family. Got to spend the afternoon with friends. Had a couple drinks, couple laughs, some sports, some fried chicken. Grandma's cooking. The usual. The usual.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
li-
That playoff
life's
that
good, man.
playoff
Life's good.
basketball. Yeah, I was
Oh
just
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
say
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
playoff basketball was in high gear yesterday too. You
Yeah,
know,
buddy.
for sure. Well. Listen,
So.
before we get into the meat and potatoes of of your different endeavors, give us a little backstory, like your childhood and your upbringing, and how you began to develop a passion for music.
Oh man, so like I said, Carolina, born and raised. It started off like as a kid. I always wanted to rap. Like I used to have my little whack ass raps that I used to just run around the house spitting all the time. And of course, like just
uh
over time, you start to figure out like, okay, this is fun. I get to hear some of the greats do it, the Nas's, the Biggies, the Pacs, and you start adjusting your style, and you start realizing like, okay, I like doing this. I could take this a little bit more serious, but I'm gonna need some
Yeah,
beats.
gotta have some
Back then,
beats.
like yeah, producers are a dime a dozen now. You can find them in the grocery store on the third aisle. Like
Ah,
Yeah.
so,
by the
back then, like
produce.
Yeah.
yeah, but back then you weren't able to find producers like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to
Yeah.
start producing my own beats. We had this game for PlayStation called MTV Music Generator,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah. I'm familiar.
dude, I used to do that, and we found a way to save those beats by running the aux cord to the 6 disc tape player, hitting record, and saving those beats to that, and then trying to flip them back so we could rap on them on a karaoke machine. Like when
Yeah.
you have stuff like that, and you start to realize you have a passion, when you start rigging stuff up just so you can get the
Oh
bare
yeah.
minimum done, just
Yeah.
getting started. So that eventually turned
Absolutely.
into me getting a job and hundreds and maybe $1,000 later, like having my own studio, building up my
Uh-huh.
equipment, more software, networking, getting more people involved. Can't do it all yourself.
Nah,
And
it takes a
music,
team
yeah, and just
for
studying,
sure.
man. Like I studied all decades of music. It just became like a full on all day passion. And
Mm.
then from
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
I was like, I'd like to get into videos because we were shooting music videos
Okay.
with my old squad, and it was just something like watching the guys behind the camera, and I was like, I got to do this, man. Like I
Oh
was too
yeah.
interested in like, what are you guys seeing back here? What buttons you pressing? Why are you pressing that? How do you
Right,
get it to look
right,
like
right.
that? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that, yeah, about a decade later of just not waiting anymore, not waiting for that perfect moment, pulling the trigger and just started buying some equipment and started figuring it out, man. So
Mm-hmm.
now we're about 6, 7 music videos in. Life is good. Like
Wow.
learning a
Wow.
lot. Yeah,
Yeah,
Awesome.
that's a
yeah.
journey.
I was just you made me think of something when you talked about the video game, the generator.
Yep,
Then even
generator.
before that, you know how you get the cassette singles and they got the instrumental on the B side.
Yeah.
Because you need it, as because definitely in your younger years, and I attest this to myself as well. There was no going to make a beat or nothing real quick. You would have to just find instrumental, a B
Mm-hmm.
side, or and then
Yep,
then you play it on one tape recorder, but then you record yourself rapping to it on
Yeah.
another tape recorder and that
Yeah.
stuff. But it's amazing how technology has progressed. Now, like you said, you can find a producer today
Yeah.
basically in the grocery store. Everybody has
exactly.
access, and technology has made it very accessible for
Yeah.
anybody who even has a remote interest in making music to at least explore and see what they
Exactly.
can do.
Yo, I can
Yeah,
tell
Yeah.
you, y'all are both rappers, and we were talking to your brother Matt a couple weeks ago, and he used to rap too.
yeah,
And talking
yeah,
about
yeah.
that
That's how it
cassette thing,
started.
my
Yeah,
older brother, used to rap as well, and that's I was like 9, 10 years old, and I was gonna be his DJ. You know what I'm saying? And my brother, he just made me remember this. We talk about the cassette, man. My brother used to rap over this Chub Rock beat, and he
ah,
rapped. I still got this Chub Rock beat in my head forever because he would rewind that thing, the instrumental, the cassette single, and then he had his whole
yeah.
routine over the Popeye theme with the Chub Rock
Okay.
joint,
Yeah,
and
yeah. Now
that was
that's
just how recording was done back in the house back then.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
because
the
when
hustle,
you're a
man. That's the
Yeah,
kid,
hustle.
yeah, you got to be creative when you're a kid. You can't just go
yeah,
pull out an MPC or a laptop or whatever. You had to be creative in those days. So
yeah,
that's a
Yep.
testament to the passion, like you were saying, Uno. It's
yeah,
a testament to the passion. Like you'll figure something out.
You'll figure it
definitely,
out. If you love it, you'll figure out a way to get there. Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah. Were
exactly.
your parents into music? Your folks into music? Did any of your family members at all? Did they play or just played a lot of music around the house or what?
So Pops is a singer. Pops always singing in the church, throughout the
Mm.
house. No
Yeah.
matter where you go, he's humming a tune. So I remember like riding in his
Uh-huh.
truck and he's sitting there listening to like Funkadelic and
Oh
Lakeside
yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he was a
Yeah.
funk guy. Like a lot of people are in like the slow soul. He was always doing the finger bass and everything else. And yeah,
Oh man.
uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice,
so
nice.
like
Yeah.
just growing up, or yeah, just growing up being around like my pops, he was the musical person, and my older brother was always a rapper. So I started taking on,
Mhm.
in his footsteps, and whatever he wanted to do, I wanted to be a part of it too. And then like my thing was, and like I just wanted to take it always to the next level. I can't just do something regular. I'm extra. So
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Hey, but
right.
that's what it's about,
That's
though.
right.
If you're
yeah.
gonna do it, as they say, go hard or go home.
Mm-hmm.
If you're
Oh,
gonna if
exactly.
you're gonna
Yeah.
take on something, you might as well do it to the best of your abilities and see how far you can take it. So that's wonderful.
Yep.
Definitely.
So at what point did you start to like? I don't know if you told us what age or but when did things kind of turn a corner where you decided like you wanted to pursue it more so than just doing it as a hobby?
So this was back in high school. We had an old crew, Influence. And I remember like when I bought all of that equipment, everyone, it was about 6 or 7 of us, and everyone would come to the house and record. Like I had the microphone hanging from the ceiling and
Mhm.
like
Yeah, the
we
soundproof.
made so yeah, I used the do-rag as like the pop filter so you don't get
Oh,
like oh
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right, like we
Yeah,
were
yeah.
we were into it, and like once I realized I started spending more and more money into it and rigging more things up, I was like, "Yo, this is
Mm,
it. This is what I want to do."
Mm-hmm.
This is
yeah.
this is my passion. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I
Hmm.
like no one could stop me. Like I wasn't like based on anyone else's passion. No matter who would give up on it or who wouldn't finish a project, I was going to get mine's in.
Yeah.
Like it was
Right.
just
That's
something
the
I
way
felt
it's
like
got
I
to be.
couldn't be stopped. Yeah, I couldn't
Hmm.
be stopped. Yeah,
Yeah.
Confidence is important too.
Yeah.
Confidence
yeah,
is definitely important when it comes to being an entrepreneur being self-employed and things like that. You have to have an element of confidence in that recipe.
For
You know,
sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
One of
yeah.
the things
I
we
have
wanted to go ahead. Go ahead.
oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say one quick thing, just to confidence.
Sure.
I have a saying that I always give people: Who else's job is it to believe in you?
For sure.
It's
Yeah.
no one else's job. It
Yeah.
is your full-time job to believe in you. Everyone else is
Believe
volunteering
in
for
you.
that company.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Nah,
Yeah.
that's great. That's a great piece of advice. You
yeah.
you definitely want to be confident in yourself, and I
Hmm.
think when you're confident in yourself, it translates into everything that you do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah,
yeah.
and that actually goes
Famous.
right into what one of the things we wanted to touch on this week was betting on yourself, and that
Mm,
believe it starts with believing in yourself. And you mentioned earlier that you actually live in Austin now. When you
yep.
made that move from the Carolinas to Austin, talk us a little bit through that and what that was like, and then what the differences are that you're noticing in the in the music game and things like that from Austin.
Oh yeah. So first, when I got out there, like Austin is considered the live music capital of the world.
Yeah.
Uh huh.
Like every day, there's a concert, there's a show, there's a different festival going on. We have South
Festival
by
for sure. Yeah.
ACL. Yeah, there's plenty going on at all times. And so like when I got there, I was thinking it should be a little bit easier to run into people and to be able to
Hmm.
get some of these beats off because everybody else is like doing music. Um, hard reality fact, man, Austin doesn't do hip hop so much.
Mm.
And like when
Ah.
that, yeah, when it hit me, I was like, oh, you guys are live music, as in like you classic rock, and
Yeah.
everyone's
Uh
into
huh.
metal, or
Okay.
like they'll deal with like reggae, and a lot of people do listen to hip hop, so it's not like an anti hip hop thing going on. But
Right.
just for the live music aspect and what people are into, like I found myself teaching a lot of my friends about hip hop
Hmm.
and different like aspects of
Really
hip hop. Yeah, I kind of become
interesting.
that KRS-One figure for like hip hop.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little
Yeah.
edutainment.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah. Say,
Yeah, it's
educating is
important for them
part
to
of
learn, man.
part of the
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But was
yeah.
that part of
Wow.
your reasoning of moving to Austin? Was because you were looking to get into the music scene there?
Well, no, I was working for a company, ironically, that was dealing with music.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
and when they moved me out to Austin to train like a new team, and then I just decided to stay.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
was like, yeah.
Just loved it.
But yeah, the other music part and just getting out of the Carolina, seeing something different, just wanting to change my scenery and
Yeah.
experience something different because with all those new experiences, it helps you grow. So
Yeah.
yeah, it all
Yeah.
added up. Yeah.
Yeah. And you
Awesome.
started getting
Awesome.
more into the video aspect since you've been there, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's that like?
Yeah.
So
Talk to us about your video game.
So like
No
to start the
pun, huh?
video,
No pun.
I like that. I like that. I like that. We're back.
My
We're back.
man
We're
went
back.
from
Yeah.
video games to the video game.
Yeah.
To the video game.
Yeah.
Oh, right on down. Yeah, but videos is something I've been wanting to do. Like I've been involved in doing music for videos, not just like for music that got played in music videos, but
Right.
like backing music for videos
Right.
and just doing like
Uh-huh.
sound scoring and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
I've always kind of been like behind the boards when it come to other people working on videos and
Hmm.
being in the studio with them. Um, for anyone who's like watching who's a creator, if you know like how a DAW, an audio workspace looks like,
Hmm.
it's like bars going across that holds the waveforms.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
if you're in like a Premiere Pro or video software, it looks the same. You
Hmm.
have bars
Wow.
going across, and whenever this bar stops or this bar starts, it's a new scene. Just like how music
Mm.
goes, it's a new audio.
Yep.
And I was like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
what? This is easy transition, you know?
Ah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
So similar language, so to speak.
right. It was just yeah, it's just like it was just kind of like a cousin of music for me. So
Hmm.
once I started
Uh-huh.
getting into that, I started buying cameras, and every day I know I've spent over probably about 200 hours studying. Like
Mm.
that's my
Wow.
main thing. Like
Yeah.
I started like actually not just watching music videos, but watching music videos.
Yeah.
Why do I like
Ah.
this? How did they get this to look like that? Why did they cut from this scene
Yeah.
to that
Different
scene? Like
perspectives.
yeah, how are you keeping my attention? Like I'm going back and watching Hypnotized by Biggie, like the backwards car chase scene, like
Hmm.
everyone's
Yeah.
throwing their own elements into it. And I was like, okay, let's start like first I just wanted to hit the ground and just start like moving on the video. So I found an artist that I was working with, ZC3. super dope artist, and he gave me the
Okay.
privilege to be able to shoot a music video for him. And we just met downtown, found some cool looking spots, started rolling on the camera,
Nice.
and
Nice.
yeah, and I was like, let's get about 6 or 7 different shots in different locations, and then when I
Hmm.
got back home, I was like, I just got to take this, put some music behind it, and find out how to edit it to keep it entertaining.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
yeah, and I had that video done 2 hours after I got home that same day. Like,
Wow. And it was ready. Yeah, that you were
yeah, I
passionate
didn't want to
about
do.
it.
I didn't eat. I
Yeah.
didn't. I didn't do anything
Now you
else.
didn't
As soon as
eat.
I got home,
Yeah.
yeah, no,
Nah, I
Yeah.
understand. Sometimes eating will slow you down. You know,
Yeah.
like when you got a
yeah,
lot to do, yeah,
Hmm.
because then you want to just be lethargic and not do too much. So,
Hmm.
yeah. Sometimes I reserve at least the heavy eating. The meal portion of what I'm gonna eat for
yep.
the latter part of the day. But I
Yeah.
totally get it. I totally
Yeah.
get it. Let's get this
That,
work
that's
done while we got
yeah.
a flow of creativity going.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, go
and
ahead. Go ahead.
just like to the other point that you were asking, that's when I realized, like, yo, like if I'm getting home and this is the only thing I could think of later that night, woke up in the middle of the night, let me just watch it one more time. Woke up the next morning, let me watch it again. Let me
Hmm.
make this small
Yeah.
adjustment. Let me do this. Let me do that. Like, because I mean, you're
Hmm.
you're always going to do a couple of drafts of it, but
Right.
that's when I realized, like, this is what I want to do. I could see myself doing this for the rest of my life as long as I can see, walk, and hold a camera. This is it.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So we got rapper. We got rapper,
Hmm.
producer.
Yep.
Is videographer the proper term? What's the proper term for the video work?
I've
Well,
been
you
looking at that.
directing?
I still yeah. So
Yeah.
it's
What?
a lot of people go by director when they're doing it, filmmaker,
Uh,
videographer. I know they all have like their own nuances between those terms, but
okay.
all of them work fine for me. It's like
Yeah.
I'm the guy
Well,
behind the camera. Yeah.
okay. So I was gonna ask you which do you enjoy? Is there one that you enjoy more than the other? Do you enjoy them all equally? Or I'm just curious.
Yeah, I enjoy it all equally. Like the most tedious thing is editing, but editing is like only tedious
Editing.
because it's just unpacking so many files. Like you have gigs and gigs of files that you have to unload, go through all the footage, take this little part out. We can't use this. Let's use this, and like that
Hmm.
part to me is like it's kind of tedious and it's long. But when you get the editing and putting in the transitions and seeing how this scene goes to that scene, you start doing the color grading for it, and you start seeing like
Hmm.
all of these smaller pieces become one cohesive project. That's the best thing, man. That's the best part of it.
Definitely.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the
Yeah.
other things that we talked about that we wanted to, that we always love to touch on is like the importance of being able to wear multiple hats, and you
Yeah.
have you put on your director hat, but you still have your producer hat and your score,
Yeah.
your sound score hat, your rap. If you hear the
Hmm.
right beat, your rapper hat can come back on. You know what I'm saying? So you're able to, excuse me, you're able to generate income or generate different sources of attraction from so many
Hmm.
different places, and I just think that's really important. That makes for a well-rounded, especially in this day and age, because
Yeah.
when everybody needs to find you on social media, it's good to be great at one thing, but when you can
Hmm.
also
Yeah.
say, oh yeah, I also do this, I also
Hmm.
make beats, that kind of stuff. I
Hmm.
just think that's really cool, man. That's really important.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's part of the game today. Like if you look at music artists now, a lot of them have their own studios.
Hmm.
A lot of them do their own beats, they'll write their own songs, and
Yeah.
then they'll do all their mixing and mastering. And then now, since record labels are kind of like they're still a thing, but you don't need the record label anymore. You're
Right.
Yeah.
doing your own
Right.
promotion. You become your own manager in a sense. You're doing your own networking on
Hmm.
social media. It is like music and creativity has become a do-it-yourself community.
Hmm.
There's a lot
Hmm.
of help involved in the process, and help is always going to give you some steps that you may not been able to make on your own. But
Right.
for the most part, like people want to be able to, people want a person who is like multifaceted, who can handle a lot, who can
Yeah.
take on a lot,
Hmm.
because those are the
Yeah.
people
Hmm.
who are passionate about it.
Definitely.
Yeah. Because back in the
Yeah,
day, it used to be what like artist development, things like that.
Yeah,
You
the
know, when
A&R,
you
yeah.
got your got your record deal, but now it seems like the labels today pretty much want somebody who's self contained. I
Yep.
can do all of these things, and it's more of a partnership. But at the
Yeah.
same time, like you said, they're not even necessary if you can do everything yourself. It's probably a little bit more work involved, but then
Yeah.
again, you
Yep.
don't have to split that pie at the end of the day. You know,
Exactly.
Yep.
you bring the whole pie to the crib.
Exactly.
You knew where I was
Yeah.
going with
I,
that. Yeah, I was about to say you don't want to.
yeah, man. And I had one
Yeah.
other question going back to your, you know, venturing out, you know, and being in Texas and everything like that. Was there a certain approach that you took when it came to networking? Because this could probably help someone at home, you know, because a lot of being an entrepreneur and providing a service is
Mhm.
networking, building a community, whether it be people, clientele, or people that you're partnering up with or working with. What was your approach when you went out, you know, to Texas and to kind of
Yeah.
build your circle?
Yeah. That's just like starting over.
Yeah, it's first like you'll look for a local artist in the area, maybe artists who you can tell are serious about their craft, who maybe putting a little bit more money and trying to get to go somewhere. And then you can reach
Uh-huh.
out to them or people that they know. If they have a partner that they work with or a manager, then you're just reaching in those inboxes and you're basically saying, how can I help? If you guys need help
Mm.
with anything, how can I help? And
Yeah.
in some of those terms, like you'll end up doing a couple of free things. You might have to hit the ground level, or
Yeah.
as Charlemagne the God would say, sometimes you got to be the roller. You got to roll it up for everybody. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to
Yeah.
Little C's. You heard?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. But definitely, you know, when you're relocating, that's definitely probably the I would assume the hardest part
Right.
yeah,
of the relocation would be to, you know, just to kind of build your network and build your community
Yeah.
back up. And then it's the live music scene, as you were saying, was pretty popular. Would it, I guess it was advantageous, maybe not so much for the hip hop genre, but I
yeah,
assume it was advantageous just to be on the scene and be in the mix with the live music in that area as
yeah.
well.
Always, in one sense, it's always good to see what people are like flocking to, because even if we're working in different genres of music, there is still a certain energy that people go out for, and you
Oh
always need
yeah.
to know what that energy is, because we deal with certain artists that are in Austin who may be hip hop, but they kind of have a rock appeal to them. So it is
Mm.
important to get to know a little bit about another genre. It's helped me more because the more that
Yeah.
I get to learn about music, like I have people, just like I say, I was kind of like being the KRS-One figure for people for hip
Yeah.
hop. Well, I had other people like being that Dave Grohl type figure who can sit there and just tell you about all different rock artists and who's playing what
Mm.
and whatnot. Like I had some people put me on a game on certain rock artists, and then I go and study
Okay.
that and how can I incorporate some of that into what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah. Awesome.
everything I use and try to flip it around to knowledge that can help build a more like
Yeah, and it
creative
just makes
mindset
you
when approaching.
makes you more diverse at the end of the day, which is
Yeah.
nothing
Yeah,
wrong with that at all.
Yeah.
You know.
yeah,
Yeah, for sure, for
and
sure.
even if it comes down to it, like watching rock videos, I don't want to always just do hip hop music videos. I love hip hop to death. I was like
Yeah.
hip
Hmm.
hop's life, but if someone comes to me and says, "Hey, I have a band and we want to shoot a music video and we want to cut it like this," I need to be able to pop that off too. Like I don't want limits.
Right,
Yeah,
Awesome. Yeah.
right. You don't want to
yeah,
miss any opportunities. Definitely
For
don't want to
not
sure.
at
miss out on
all.
any
Yeah,
opportunities.
For sure.
Yeah, yeah.
That's definitely a good nugget, a good jewel for everybody out there too. Yeah, don't close yourself into to a box or to a one
Yeah.
genre or to a one style of whatever it is you're creating, because there's a whole world out there. There's a whole world out
There
there.
exactly,
is.
exactly.
You
There
know,
is.
I
And I
mean, that
just
just takes me
mhm.
back to, when I first moved to the Carolinas from New York. Showed up at remember, I showed up at the Long Branch. If I was just trying to do what I was doing up there, I wouldn't have lasted being a DJ in South
Oh
Carolina.
yeah, you
I
had
had
to
to start twinkling in
appeal
some of
to the
that country and
audience.
some of that rock
Yep.
music. And now I'm able, like I say, I had three this weekend, and hardly none of it was hip hop. Because
Yeah, yeah.
now I've
You're
been able
seasoned
to,
now.
yeah, I've been able to, kind of expand that into a bigger world, man. That's so important. especially where,
Yeah,
like you said, in
absolutely.
Austin too. It's live.
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
live out
Oh
there.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just it's
Yeah,
just only
great
hip hop. It's
opportunity.
just you and Run the Jewels.
That's it, man. Run the jewels. These guys are crazy. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
it.
yeah. Run the jewels. And
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
not
gonna
gonna
take a
lie, I have
second
seen
to
Run the Jewels in Austin. Yeah.
yeah,
yeah, you got to appreciate it, you know. And
for
I just
sure.
wanted to take a second to remind everyone, if you're here, make sure you drop in a comment. If you're
Yeah,
watching the replay, feel free to drop a comment on the replay. We're gonna also put the link, the YouTube link, where you guys can go over and subscribe to our
please do
YouTube
that.
channel. All of that will be placed in the comments. If you have any questions
Some,
for our guests tonight, go ahead and get them in the comments, and we'll recognize you here shortly. You know.
show us some sub love.
Some
Some
sub
Yeah,
love.
sub
yeah.
Smash
love.
that like button, you know?
Smash the like button. So Uno, all these things that you do, directing, producing, still grab the mic whenever you feel inclined to, and
hmm
you have a job,
And I have a
right?
job.
And you
Yeah.
have a job. This is kind of a
Yeah.
recurring thing on this show. How
Oh
do you
yeah, yeah,
balance
yeah.
this? How do you balance it? What are some of your advice on balancing that work, passion, social life? You still like to get back to the Carolinas whenever you can. How do you balance all of these things?
Yeah. It's one of those things where I say if you have a passion for something, you'll find a way to do it. You'll find time for it.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Like when, yeah, I work my
100%.
my regular 9 to 5, my 8 hour a day job, and once I get off that, I normally go to my own grind. Like, what else am I going to study today? I may do a little bit of studying. I may do a little bit of editing. I may take something and then start practicing it. Like, how did he get this shot? Let me just set up my camera and film me, then try to like
Mm,
editing certain ways to get my effect to look like theirs or whatever, just to add
Mm-hmm.
another
yeah.
trick to the bag. Like that.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I'm always doing something. I tell people like I work all of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And even when I'm
Yeah,
out
that's good, man.
partying and stuff, that's still partial work to me because what are you
Exactly.
reacting to for
For
what
sure.
music that's
Tax
going on?
write-offs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm writing that off. I'm writing these drinks
Yeah.
off. Yeah.
I digress. I digress.
Yeah.
Proceed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now you're in different environments, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, I guess subconsciously just taking in what you're hearing, what you're seeing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, different environments and life experiences themselves can create inspiration, which turn
Yeah.
into content.
Yeah.
You know, so
Exactly.
yeah, so you still part. I understand what you mean,
Yeah.
and I'm inclined to say you may be doing a short film at some point, right?
Yeah.
It might be
Yeah.
coming. You
Yeah.
know, yeah, with
There's some
having.
things I'm working on right now that I'm
I could be an extra,
it's,
perhaps.
Yeah.
if if it does come down to that and we end up doing casting, because I got people now that I'm in a loop with who are writing scripts. They're also
hmm
like in the film industry, actors, actresses. Like once you get into that community, you start
Mm-hmm.
to shake hands with certain people. Who's like, let me know if you need anything. Oh yeah, I got
Right.
your number, dude. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
meet with me in about 6 months, and we might be talking about something. But I do have a
Yeah.
couple of
Yeah.
things that
Yeah.
I'm holding under the wraps
Ah.
right now. They're a little bit
Oh,
different than the
okay. So
music video.
I
Yeah.
was in the right ballpark
Yeah.
then, as far as
Yeah,
where I
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah,
going.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But I understand, you know, you don't want to give too much away, but you definitely got to come back and give us an exclusive
Definitely.
when
yeah.
that time
Oh, of
comes.
course,
You
of
know.
Yeah.
course. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
For
what are you
sure. For
working on
sure.
now that you can tell us about it? Who you working with?
Still working with my guy ZC3. He's an artist out of Austin. If you get the chance, look him up. Dude is so dope. Like
ZC3.
he's just one
I'm
of
about to
those
write that
people
down.
who if you give him a beat, he has a melody for it and a hook for it like an hour later.
Mm.
And
Wow.
it's not just something that's just like throw off to the side. I mean, it's like mind blowing. How did you come up with this type of stuff? Like he's such a
Okay.
he thinks like I do, like when it comes to creativity, and this was what makes it so easy to work with him.
Mm.
Like we
Mm.
both are like semi perfectionists, but even if stuff is not perfect, we take like joy in the imperfections of our art.
Oh
So
yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're definitely on the same wavelength. We're about 6 music videos in now.
Wow.
Um,
Okay.
we have about maybe 4 or 5 songs that we are discussing like video ideas about right now.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wow.
it's like a whole summer's worth of projects that we already have lined up. And there's another guy I got to reach back
Awesome.
out to when I get back to Austin who's wanting to start working now. And then another
Awesome.
guy here in the Carolinas. You know, once you
Yeah.
start cranking out that consistency, people see you working. They're like,
Yeah.
all right, come on. Just like I
That's
found these other artists, people are finding me. I'm that artist for them. Yeah.
Awesome.
yeah. Now can our folks at home as us, can we find what is ZC3? I wrote
CC3.
it down. Yeah, is that
Yeah,
YouTube where they
ZC3 Music. Yeah, ZC3 Music on Instagram,
on
TikTok,
Instagram?
all platforms. Yeah, ZC3 Music.
ZC3
Okay.
Music. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Please give them
On
a
all
follow. Yeah,
platforms.
Awesome.
Yeah, we
Awesome.
definitely want to plug, anybody that you're working with. And I think we're gonna plug your links here
Yeah.
in
And
a
how can
moment or
how
two.
can they find
yeah.
you if someone wants to link up with you? They want you to shoot something or produce something or spit a hot verse.
Reach
Yeah.
out to me. I may not be giving out verses as much as I used to.
Yeah. Verses take a long time.
Yeah.
I don't want to hurt them like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can reach out to me at directed by Uno. It's directed by full words underscore Uno on Instagram, and then on TikTok it's dir underscore by underscore Uno. So it's like directed, but dir, it's abbreviated. dir underscore
Okay.
by underscore Uno,
Yeah.
and that's where
Yeah.
that's where the work's going to live at.
Awesome. We're gonna put those
Okay.
in the comments as well. Put those in the comments
Yeah.
so
Appreciate
everyone
that.
watching
Good
the
looking out.
replay can come back to it and just click right on that thing. And on the YouTube as
Yeah.
well, they'll just be able to click right on it. That's
Yeah, and we
awesome,
definitely
man.
we appreciate the live viewership this
Yeah.
evening. And we understand people are still kind of recuperating and getting back into the
Yeah.
swing of things after such a an eventful
Yeah.
Easter weekend.
For
Where we
sure.
got
Yeah.
it looks like we got a few people who've been toughing it out with
Yeah,
this
they've been, and
tonight.
now
We
you know those
appreciate you
replays.
guys.
The replays start to live, and they start commenting on the
Yeah,
replays too. So we'll get it
Yeah.
for sure.
Everybody else right
yeah,
now at the gym for after eating all that Easter dinner, so we understand. Y'all.
Yeah.
yeah.
We get it.
Eating them
They better,
leftovers.
better be.
Can't do
Yeah,
Monday
lots of
morning. You
ham
can't do Monday
leftovers.
gym time after Easter.
Better be. Better
Yeah,
be.
lots of leftovers.
Shout out
We
to
don't let food go to waste.
our friend Blake Anderson stopped through.
What's up? Shaking
Sounding
Blake
great.
in the building.
DJ Shaking
Yeah,
Blake.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
concurs. Uno is the man.
Nice,
Appreciate that,
man.
Blake.
Who else?
Blake's the
Who
man
else is
too.
on tonight? Any other comments
My
in the
man
comment
Jimmy.
section?
Jimmy was in here. Jimmy says, "Great combo,
Okay.
guys."
James.
Yeah.
What
Jimmy
up,
Yeah, throw me the
James?
hardball
Jimmy.
questions. Throw me the hardball questions.
Jimmy
Ask me where the light
Jam.
went.
Matthew.
The hardball questions. Everything is just
Ask me why I'm so dark where I'm at right now.
you've basically covered everything.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. We also have our
No,
friend Michelle.
for the most
Yeah.
part.
Yeah.
You've been very Michelle Parrish.
Yeah, Michelle
Okay,
Parrish. She's a
absolutely.
friend of mine
Thank you for
from
the subscription.
around the Spartanburg area. Thank you for
Okay, doing
subscribing, Michelle.
photography. Yeah,
Oh
all
yeah,
right,
but network
awesome.
photography. That's my other bag too. I forgot. I didn't even mention photography. Yeah.
Okay, well, we could assume with the videos,
Yeah.
if you're doing videos, that
Yeah.
Yeah.
you got the photography down pat as well. Because I would assume, and because I'm guessing, because I don't do those things, but I would assume the photography you kind of would master that before you get into doing videos. If I'm correct, or perhaps
That's
I may be
exactly how it works. That's
Mm.
exactly how it
Mhm.
works. Yeah. It's like a lot of the
Okay.
same lighting principles. So if you want to
Mhm.
like light up a project or light up a subject, like those same principles like flow right in the video, and then you're using your own creative ways to deal with light, and light determines like how professional something can look, and or it can break a scene easy. So learning that in
Yeah.
photography instantly transition in the video as well. Like I said,
Awesome.
video was a
Yeah.
no-brainer. So
Okay,
Awesome.
okay, that's what's up. That's
Michelle,
what's
we'll
up,
have to
man.
follow you on the Instagram as well.
Yeah.
We'll follow your photography journey. And she says, "Thank you,
Oh, for
Uno, for the
sure.
positive words and advice." Definitely.
Yes,
always,
yes,
always.
it's
Love
been
to bring the
great, man.
positivity,
It's been
man.
great. And time flies on these no shortcuts editions.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
definitely.
know,
We
and
Oh, yeah.
before you look up, you be at, and we generally try to cap out at in between 30 to 45 minutes. That's usually our standard approach. Therefore, we don't overwhelm people with the information. It's
Yeah.
easily digestible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. We definitely
Yeah.
appreciate everybody for coming through. We appreciate
Yeah, man.
Uno for spending the time with us.
Man,
Yeah.
I'm forever
During
appreciative
his
of both of you
Easter
guys, man.
break.
Two of the hardest working people
Yeah.
I know. Keep it going, man.
Thank
I
you,
love it.
brother. Thank you. You're
Yeah,
at
yeah.
you're
But go ahead.
you're
I'm sorry.
you're on
I
that
didn't mean to
you're on
cut you
that
down,
list
bro.
of the hardest working people for sure, man. You're on that
That's
list.
the goal.
For sure, for sure. And any closing words, Uno, for the folks at home and those who are viewing the replay? Any you want to leave them with something?
Yeah, once again, directed by Uno, directed by underscore Uno on Instagram. Please give a follow, check out the videos, leave a comment, tell me how you feel about it, engage with it.
Yeah,
There's more to come. There's a lot there already. So, yeah,
Awesome.
there's a lot coming away. Yeah, and also, if
awesome.
just a quick point of advice, anyone who's looking to get into photography or videography, pick up your camera and just you have a phone camera. Start there. Don't wait
Oh
for
yeah,
anything.
start there.
Go ahead and start. Go ahead and
Hmm.
start. Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Do it now. Log off and do it now.
And that's kind of the theme, kind of the theme of
Yeah.
this show, Uno. That's why we called it No Shortcuts, is because no matter what the game is, photography, video, music, graphic arts, there isn't a short way to get there. You're gonna have to start from, like you said, start from the bottom. You might have to be the roller. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta
And
roll
Yeah,
it.
there's
yeah,
Roll it up.
there's
yeah.
no easy way. It looks good, the finished product, and it kind of makes people
Hmm.
think, oh yeah, I can just jump right into this. But there's a lot of grind involved. You can attest to that, and then you get there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
The
work so
right
hard to
time
make it
is
look that
now.
easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a
Yeah,
testament that you make it look
yeah,
easy, but it's not for
Yeah.
sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 yep. The right time is
Yeah.
now.
Do
Yeah,
it the
famous. You
long
got
way.
any? You got any closing words
I
this
think
evening
that
you
was
want to leave
it.
the folks with?
I
That
think that
was it.
was
He
it,
summed it
man.
up.
Just
Yeah,
Yeah.
do
that's
it the
it, man.
long
And put
way.
up the videos. Yeah.
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 Do it the
Long
long
way.
way.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is going to wrap another edition of your hottest new internet sensation
Yeah.
on Facebook and YouTube by the name of the No Shortcut Show.
For sure.
Thank you guys for joining us this evening. I guess we'll run it back. Have we pinpointed Monday or Tuesday
Yeah,
for
we
next
do
week
have
just
a
yet?
we have Tuesday next week, Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all
Tuesday,
lined
7
up.
p.m.
7 p.m.
Yeah,
next
yeah.
Tuesday. We'll be back on the Tuesday schedule next
Yes,
week.
sir.
Next week. Yeah.
All right. And
So
in the meantime, don't
hit
forget,
the sub on the
hit it.
YouTube.
Guys, you better hit
Yeah.
the sub on this one, please.
Yeah,
Yes,
talk to
please.
us.
We're in the process of trying to build something special, and the cool
Yeah.
thing is you can get on the train. You can get on the train early.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can get on the
These
train,
conversations right
and
here are so important too. Thank you guys for
uh,
doing this.
Yeah, thank you,
yeah,
brother.
and feel free to share, folks. If you come across this video,
Mm-hmm.
share it to your own page.
Mm-hmm.
Or tag some people in the comments who you feel could benefit from these type of conversations. We're gonna do these weekly, and
Yeah.
we're looking forward to growing our community. So in the
Yes, sir.
meantime, we're gonna bid everybody Godspeed. Everybody stay safe, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys next week on Tuesday, 7 p.m. We're gonna sign off. Good night, folks. Thank you,
Thank you.
Uno.
Thank
Stay
you,
on the line. We'll
Uno.
holler at you 1 second.
Yes, please.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.